I want to share with you a conversation that I recently had with an IU Health ICU nurse who shares what she is seeing right now on the front lines as she cares for COVID-19 patients here in central Indiana.
Brandy, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
I understand that there's a problem over at University Hospital with people showing up there thinking there's an emergency room, but that's not right, is it?
No, that's correct. We do not have a emergency department at University Hospital.
And so what happens when people take an Uber there or get dropped off and then show up in the lobby? What are you doing there as a system in IU Health to care for these patients? That just adds a whole nother level of logistical challenges, I imagine.
Correct. So we address their needs. And if they are not in medical distress and they just have questions about COVID screening, we can screen them, or usually we give them instructions to using the virtual clinic. If they are in medical distress, we dispatch our rapid response nurses and our team, and they come down, they assess the patient, they triage them, and we can get them safely to Methodist Emergency Department via ambulance.
I understand that you were working on the front lines at the ICU at IU Health West in Avon. Tell me what that's like.
It's a lot of really sick patients, a lot of medical staff coming together, using staffing ratios and tools that we've never done before, but we need to use now to maximize the opportunity to get all these patients the care they need. A lot of these patients are young. They're my age, late 30s to mid 50s. A lot of the news right now is it's all elderly patients. It's not all elderly patients. These are young people that have young families, and they're in the intensive care unit. So first of all, they could just arrive short of breath, and literally within an hour could go from what we call room air to needing supplemental oxygen to now being on life support. They're taking extreme amount of ventilator support, even more than I'm used to seeing. It's like some of the highest vent settings I've ever seen. They're taking tons of sedation to keep them in sync with the breathing machine. Lots of what we call pressor support, so they're unable to maintain their own blood pressure. So now we're putting them on medication to even keep their blood pressure up, to keep blood going to all their vital organs. Some are having very high temperatures, and the whole body is just ravaged. It's not just they're not breathing. Sometimes their kidneys now aren't functioning. And it's, like I said, they don't recover quickly. So what I mean by that is maybe I lay them flat to do a quick bath, or just to turn them, because we turn them frequently to prevent any kind of pressure ulcers. And within seconds, their oxygen sats drop, and they don't recover. They take such a long time to recover, and you're sitting there and you're doing everything you can to get that oxygen level back up, but their body's just not responding. And it's a lot. And then, you're wearing all this gear and you're sweating and you're doing all this stuff in a closed room. And you got to make sure your anxiety doesn't get the better of you. And you got to do everything you can. And I will say, this past week when I was talking to a wife and her husband, who I had the pleasure to care for, he's my husband's age. And I'm trying to get to know him through her. And, in the event that he can wake up, what kind of TV does he like? Or what music does he like? Or what can I do? Because I'm a stranger and he doesn't know my voice. And not only am I a stranger, when he opens his eyes, I'm an alien. He doesn't know what I'm wearing. He doesn't know why I look this way. And, I want to do everything I can for him to feel safe, because if he's not safe, then he's anxious, then he's not breathing well.
What are you worried about as we start a new week now?
I'm worried about the surge, keeping up with the evidence and all the statistics. It shows that this is just going to keep climbing here. I'm worried about people not taking the quarantine seriously. I've got 2 little kids that should be in school, so I get it. It's hard. But there are ways to get outside into nature and still social distance. And I'm afraid that if we don't take it more seriously.
Do you feel like you're overwhelmed already?
I feel like the anticipation is overwhelming. I feel like the anxiety can lead you to being overwhelmed. There's, as healthcare providers, we constantly learn because we want to do better. We want to be better constantly. But the amount of information coming in right now is overwhelming. And just the fear of, what if I bring this home? I don't want to bring this home. I don't want to have sick family members.
We'll bring this home. She has a son and a daughter, 3 and 6 years old, who are at home. She also has her grandmother living at home. So thanks so much to Brandy. They call her at IU Health Brandy KK. And we know that when you get home, your work is not over. So we do appreciate your time. And we certainly hope that you stay well, Brandy.